This week, I've been enrolling new members into the Digital Alchemy Lab. And I know I've talked a little bit about it here on the show. However, I wanted to give you a little bit more of an introduction because, like I said, I'm already onboarding new members and they're getting in at an early bird rate. And I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity if working with me in this capacity is something that you've wanted to do. And so the way it works is it's a really simple mentorship and advising program. And the reason I've designed it like how I'm going to describe is because over the years, I've done these seasonal, whether it's like site critiques or 1-hour consults or short trainings on particular things. And I've done these over the years in order to keep myself engaged and to practice something that I ultimately wanted to be able to do, which is to offer this mentorship and advising program. And so my conflict with this has been like, at my core, I've always been a coach. Like since I was a kid, this is where I operate from my highest zone of genius. And so naturally, when I got into the freelance online business world, it was the first thing that I wanted to do, that I was like compelled to do. Problem is, I didn't have any experience at the time. And so I used to suffer from what I call early success syndrome, where as a child, I could pick things up quickly. I had what you'd probably consider beginner's luck. And so things always came easy for me the first time. And so once I got into the online business world, I was kind of just expecting like, okay, I've got faith. I have this belief that things will work out. And so after the first year, when things didn't quite work out, I realized, okay, something needs to change, right? And ultimately what I concluded was I need a certain experience of my own. If I want to be able to offer something from my core and align it with something that I'm passionate about and that I'm actively pursuing, then I need to get this experience. Like I need something of my own that I can validate things, that I can experiment, that I can test. And I wasn't able to do that with my early clients because if something went wrong, well, I wouldn't exactly, it would throw me into this pool of uncertainty where it's like, I got to figure out things on the client's dime, or I have to figure things out on their accord as opposed to my own. And so I took the time that I needed and I went through the struggles that I needed to go through. And I remember about 2019, I was like, wow, I kind of accomplished what I set out to accomplish. What do I do now? And because I'm a skeptic, right? I don't believe things easily unless I know something for sure, for certain, unless I have explored it from multiple different perspectives. And so I wanted to explore my own success within the Squarespace business realm from as many different perspectives as I could. And so part of that experience was starting new side projects, which I started many of those. I acquired new side projects. I was trying to recreate a certain success. And what I learned was that the energy required for any of those other projects would be just as much, if not more, than the energy required to project number one. And so most of those things didn't work out, but project number one, it kept working. And eventually I came to the conclusion of why, because it's a transcendent why, and it's a why that I believed in the beginning. And it's one of those things where I have this saying where like the thing you learn in the end is the thing you already knew in the beginning. Just in the end, you now know it by experience. And so this key factor, this key it factor that was there at the inception of my Squarespace business is the thing that I feel compelled to share and to seed today into the next generation of Squarespace businesses, because it's something that I've partly taken for granted at times. It's something I felt is almost too simple, right? Like my thing when it comes to things that are too simple, it's like, if it's so simple, why is it so hard? And so anyway, it starts with a certain business philosophy, a certain approach to the market. And I find that if you can adopt this approach early on, before you even start your business or before you decide to scale, then it sets you up for a certain kind of inevitable success. And it feels really good to be able to identify inevitable successes, because as an investor, that's essentially what you want to be able to do, is to be able to pinpoint something that where it's just a matter of time. And I can't quite tell you how I can do that now. Maybe that's proprietary. But having been in this particular market for the past decade and having ran countless experiments and observed and talked to countless other businesses within the space, it's always nowadays especially, it's very easy for me to tell up front where there's going to be future success. And so I want to be able to share this opportunity with you. And so if you would like to work with me one-on-one on your Squarespace business, there has never been a better time. And it's also never been more affordable to work with me. And that is as of July 10th. I'm also increasing the price of this offering as I offer it. And so until you see a landing page, which there's no landing page right now, or until you see some kind of like static sales message, which there is no static sales message, this is a very dynamic offering. And this is like the way that I like to do things, but there's always a lesson in that, which is finding the shortest path. A lot of times when we have new offers, we try to figure out like everything that we think we need up front, when the only thing we need to figure out up front is how we can meet the needs of the people who we want to serve. And if we can find the simplest, shortest path to be able to meet their needs, then we have enough to move forward with the first client or the second client or the third client. And after you've gotten to know what these needs are on a reoccurring basis, now you have the material that you need to create an offer or some kind of marketing or sales asset that can live on its own and can sell on your behalf. But before that, immersing yourself in that hand-to-hand combat, if you will. It's not combative, it's just a metaphor. But engaging in that one-to-one conversation, right? The best marketing is going to be a conversation that you've been able to scale up. Okay, so focusing on the conversations with the people who already need and desire and are able and willing to pay for what you have to offer, and then growing from there. Anyway, I am rambling now, so hit me up, Omari at sqsbthemes.com. I will send you a link to my calendar. We'll have a wonderful conversation about your business, about where you are and where you want to be. And I will likely point out a few potential areas of opportunity that I see that you can quickly and easily capitalize on if you are able and willing to do so.